Hi friends. Today we'll be creating an Expo app that uses Prefab's React Native client to give us feature flags and live config for our mobile devices. Let's hop in. We'll start by copying this Create Expo example from the Expo docs, and we'll paste it into our terminal. We'll cd into the directory and do npm run iOS to get our simulator going. Next, we'll open app.js and verify that live reload is working. And it is. Now we're ready to add Prefab to our project. From the Prefab React Native docs, we'll copy the npm install and we'll paste and hit enter. This installs both the client and some required dependencies. With that done, we can import Prefab provider from Prefab Cloud React Native. Now we can wrap the content of our app in the Prefab provider. I'll just do it here within the view for simplicity. We'll want to provide an API key, but we don't have that yet. Also, we'll want to give it some context attributes, which we'll make just empty for now. And we'll close that off. Okay, it says we haven't passed any context attributes. And it gives us a helpful link. We'll dismiss that for now. Let's give it some context attributes to make it happy. So we'll say context attributes is going to be, and here we'll describe our current user. So you'll want to pull this from whatever cookie or store, however you work with your users. But here we'll just hard code it for now. We'll say the key is ABC. Key is a unique identifier. It may be your user.id. We'll give them a name and we'll give them an email. We'll close that off. And then down here, we will pass in our context attributes. Now we see that an API key is required, so we'll create one in the Prefab app. Over in my environment section, I can add a front-end API key. We'll copy that. And now we can paste it in. A front-end API key is not secret, so it doesn't hurt to have it in your app. You probably want to have one per environment, but we'll just hard code its development for now. And now we see that our app is happy, but we're not really using Prefab yet, so let's get to that. We will extract this text into a greeting component and define that above. So we'll say function greeting. Yeah, that seems fine. Let's do that for now. Let's actually use Prefab. We'll say that get and loading are used Prefab. And we'll want to import that above. So if we're loading, we can return the text loading. So if we refresh this fully over here, we briefly see loading. Otherwise, we can return in here get my.greeting or hello. So hello here is going to be the default greeting. Since we haven't set up my.greeting in Prefab yet, we're falling over to the hello, and that makes sense. Let's create our first config, and it will be my.greeting. It'll be a string, and we will send it to the front-end SDKs. Not all config is something you'll want to send to the front-end SDKs, so this is an opt-in behavior. And this will just say howdy. We will save and publish. And now if we reload over here, we see howdy. The nice thing about this is we can change this whenever we want. We don't have to do a rebuild. The next time that we fetch from Prefab, whether it's when the app is opened or whether you're polling, they're going to get the latest. Howdy exclamation point now. Now let's imagine that we have a feature that we only want to show on the advanced plan. So here we'll have advanced feature button. Not a great name, but I think it gets the point across. We'll define it up here. And it is going to use is enable and loading from Prefab. And we'll say if loading, yeah, we'll do this for now. Not the best experience, but we'll figure out our loading states later. So what we can do is return is enabled. We'll call this advanced features. We could get more granular and have it be .cool.button or whatever, but we'll just call it advanced features for now. So we have that, we'll return a button and we'll give it a title, and sure, that looks good for now. Otherwise, we'll return null. We'll also need to import button. Okay, and we see that by default, advanced feature does not show up here. Let's make this a little clearer by changing this to text upgrade to use advanced features. Great. So by default, every feature flag will return false both while prefab is loading and if it hasn't been defined yet. In the prefab UI, we can define this flag. We'll call it advanced features and it's a Boolean. We'll save and publish. Now it's defaulting to false, so we don't see any change. But let's add a rule. We'll say that it will be true if team.plan is one of advanced or enterprise. We can save and publish that. And so there's still no change over here because we haven't yet provided the context. So let's do that in our code right now. Again, you'll want to pull this from a database or whatever, but we can give them a key of XYZ, a name, and we'll also give them a plan. And in this case, we'll make them a free user. So still prompting to upgrade. We change this to enterprise. Then we now see that they have access to our advanced feature. Prefab feature flags and configs can use complex rules to evaluate the context that you provide to give your users the right values every time. Check out the React Native SDK today and let us know what you're building.